Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Michael Nickens, aka Nickens, back again with another video. The Wiffle in Review, the week in review, talking about MLW, our preview slash post review show where I go over what is going on in Wiffle as long as I may continue to do this. And we're also going to be reviewing, of course, another great Wiffle League. So keep leaving your comments, keep leaving love on these videos. Make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to see more memes and content, let me know. But first, we've got to talk about the previous game, the previous week, and that was, of course, the great Diamondbacks versus Predators. It was a beautiful, beautiful game, and I absolutely love this series. I think it was entertaining from start to finish. So many highlights. It felt like every single one was a highlight from one of these guys. And if you didn't end up seeing the result, I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. Okay, the Diamondbacks won 2-1 against the Predators. And it felt like what really happened to the Preds is the story is that Stephen McLeod got found out really early, and whereas Trey Flood was such a better arm in this game, Crash was tired after those first few innings, or after pitching five innings, basically. Hard-fought innings against Jimmy. And by the end, Trey was on fire, and Ryan just got tired for that game 3, and that's kind of what happened. Let's go over the first game, which was absolutely insane. The Preds should have won this game way earlier. It should have been a 3-2 ball game. Within the first inning, so Brennan Russell hit a bomb in the first inning, drove in 3 runs, and that was huge. Brennan is always good in these first few series. Ever since he went like 2-12 at Schultz Field, he has been so much better in the first game of the year. He went 2 for 6 and had a home run with two hits, had a RBI, and was really looking good. But Nort came right back, hit a home run on his own. And then after that, it became a pitching battle until the third inning. And Norp hit a triple with an error. Again, for the most part, I felt like the Preds in this game really, their defense was so much better. I've criticized in the past for having poor defense. And this time they did really, really well. But this one thing, I've already showed you guys, it was just bad. It was just really bad. I know in the same situation, I probably would have done the same thing as Cratch, so I don't necessarily blame Cratch for going for it, because pitching with a guy on third for the rest of the time is going to be so annoying. And Jimmy overextended and he took it. But really, I think the thing is that, the ball is hit to dead center, and Brennan cannot come up with it. I don't know what was going on in center field, but he just couldn't come up with it. Couldn't turn around in time. Jimmy is already, halfway through going to third, so he passes it to Cratch. Jimmy overextends, he's going the whole way, and Cratch just throws, just kind of right at him and misses, and so it's an inside the Parker. And it should not have happened. They're luckily that didn't completely swing the momentum to the Diamondbacks. Crash was able to set it back in. Both Jimmy and Crash had 13 Ks in this game, and I think what really did Jimmy in was the walks. He was able to get out of those jams, but they were able to see him, and Crash picked up that very crucial home run in the end. So the Preds went on to win this game 4-3. But after that, it was pretty much Diamondbacks all the way. Trey Flood looked absolutely amazing. Only 1 earned run off of a Warder home run. And Alec had another hit in the game, and Ryan had a hit. But other than that, Brennan and Steven both didn't get a hit. And Norp, again, absolutely tattooed the ball. Put a home run and knocked in 3 RBIs. Jonah Heath had 3 walks, which is always really good. I know he didn't get a hit, but 3 walks is better than nothing. Michael Shima had 2 hits in this game. Awesome. And Casey didn't do much in this game. However, in the third game, he did make up for that. Just a couple things. Trey Flood really surprised me after kind of being okay the past season. I think he's really settled in. And McGlade, I think, has gotten found out. He had a really solid year last year, and he may need to go back to the drawing board because he cannot pitch the way he did and expect to win in the World Series. If these are two World Series teams that I'm talking about, you're going to need that solid second arm, and that was not a great showing from Steven this time. Now he can always go back and improve, but it's going to be tough for this next year. Next thing is in Game 2, Trey Flood pitched an absolute gem again. Only one walk, had 5 Ks, and the defense from the Diamondbacks is so good. Now, what I did notice is that, yes, Cratch let up 2 runs and then pitched a shutout. He only let up 1 hit, but he looked like he was hurting. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you go to... here, I'll give you some timestamps as I show you this, what I mean in real time. I'm in the first. Now, watch how Cratched is throwing on the mound. You see how smooth his release is? It's not... There's not a huge hitch in his release. He steps up to the bat very carefully. He throws the ball, right? Watch again. Throws up to the plate. Very smooth. Much the same in the third, bottom of the third. Throws up, very smooth in his release. Okay? Now, let's take a look at him in the first inning of the third game. He's pitched 5 innings. And watch his release now. Steps out to the side, but ever then he has kind of a hitch. He's kind of pushing himself out a little more on that screwball. Same thing. It's on his slider. You could see him reach for his leg. It didn't seem like in this inning a little bit of a hitch. It seems like he's tired. I think the big thing is that, yes, Casey was able to get that off of him, but my man Crash was probably gassed. Where his release now is a little slower. His release doesn't happen the same way that it used to. Crash is now... you'll look at the second inning, more of the same. Kind of slow, not as smooth. He's walking up there, looks gassed. His foot is not coming very smooth. If you just watch his right leg, not as smooth as it usually is. He's still throwing strikes, but it just doesn't look the same. And I think, again, that is from just the wear and tear of the MLW season. And this is not the first time that Ryan has struggled with stamina because of other injuries. It looked like his foot was a little off this time. Maybe his elbow in the past has also bugged him. So hopefully he can get healthy because he really is an amazing pitcher. And, I don't want this to be a season where we're thinking like, man, if Cratch was 100%, like the Predators would look so good. And I really think that Cratch is the lifeline of this team. But at the same time, even if he's hurt, he only let up 2 runs, and the Predators weren't able to capitalize off of anything. Trey Flood threw a gem, only 1 walk. He was 1 walk away from a perfect game. So a no-hitter, absolutely amazing. Is that Trey's really good, or the Predators got a hit? Maybe a little bit of both. I'm interested to see how Trey does for the rest of the season. I'm very high on Trey. I was high on Trey last year. He may be like a Brendan Baranowski of last year, where he is just absolutely lights out. And if he is like Brendan and Jimmy is still Jimmy, we could be looking at a 3-peat easily. So let me go what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys think? Is it going to be the Predators are going to make a strong comeback? Are the Diamondbacks set to win another MLW World Series? Let me know. And we're going to go ahead and move on to, which is, of course, the Mallards versus the Wildcats. A very interesting game here. Both teams who you feel are very high on, a classic rivalry with Tommy and Kyle. Just great, solid team for both sides. Interested to see how Jackson does again. And Nick, kind of this may be a game where we are really relying on those second arms. Caden looked a lot more solid than, Jackson and Nick did in the first game. But Kyle is still Kyle. It's going to be interesting to see. I like the Wildcats hitting in this game. I think the Mallards are just, in comparison, I trust the Wildcats more than the Mallards. And that the Mallards are still really good. I don't want to discount Robles or Tommy. They're both really good. But I'm going to have to go the Wildcats on this one, 2-1. I think even with the Mallards' great start, I think the Wildcats are in prime position again. This just feels like another... This just already feels like a classic Kyle Schultz MVP season, and I don't think that the Mallards are going to be able to overcome that. It'll be interesting to see how the fours play in this game. Will Ty Smith continue his good progress after game 3? That'll be interesting to see. I think he's going to be a really good player. Is he going to be that great number 4 that the Wildcats need? We'll see as the season goes. The Mallards look like they have a really good 5. Who's going to really step up into that 4 slot? And so these are going to be kind of a game of answering those questions. I don't think this game is going to cost anybody. I don't think it's going to be a sweep, but I do think the Wildcats going to take it 2-1. Let me know what you guys predict in the comments, and we're going to move on to our League of the Week. Today we're going over our League of the Week, and that is EBWB, the East Bangor Wiffle Ball League. These guys have actually played in MAW, and shout out to Sean Huff for giving me a little tidbit on all of these guys. He's actually pitching, so we're starting at the top of the 4th versus the Yellow Jackets and the Underdogs. Underdogs in red, Yellow Jackets obviously in yellow. And it's been a pitching duel between him and Joe Quesada this entire time. And I'm just going to show you some really awesome highlights from this game. It's back and forth. Joe Quesada gets the end on that one, but he's not going to be able to beat out Sean to the plate. And then next up, he throws a beautiful screwball right into the top of the zone. Super nice. Lots of movement on that. Freezes the batter. Sean again going to the plate. Another screwball. Gets him inside, but no one's there to cover first, and he dives, and he gets there. A beautiful play right there. Got to have some better defense. And then here comes Joe, the other pitcher. Pitcher on pitcher. Another screwball to end the inning. Great sportsmanship over here. Joe has been absolutely dotting the inside quarter on these sliders. Great location. He's been pitching like that all game. I mean, this game is just going back and forth and back and forth. Here he is again. Slider. A little high, but it's able to drop in, and that's a single. Here we go. Joe comes in, wind up, drop ball. Too much for Sean there. But here, 2 outs. Another slider hits the zone, and we're going to 5. And right here, this is a very funny moment. 12-6 drop. Thinks he's got it. Drops in the center. It's only a single. The game keeps going. Could have been a very scary moment, but here we are again. Sean stepping up, and another drop ball gets laced to first. That's going to drop down for an out, and the runner's going to make his way to third. So very precarious situation for Sean. He's got to get out of jam with the guy on third. Going to walk for Joe first. Pretty tough position there. So he's got, a couple of options. Going to load the bases. Not bad to not pitch to them, especially in the situation that he's in. And then gets him with the screwball. And one more batter to go before he can complete the save here. Step up, taking his time. Another screwball. And he doesn't get him in time. Barely doesn't get him in time. So all Joe has to do is complete the inning. And another slider. It's so frustrating. So frustrated. Just that slider, he's been piping it up the entire time. Here we go. Next pitch. Another slider. Gets some nickage. So good. Here goes Sean to maybe continue the game, and that's going to be another strikeout. A wonderful game. You should guys check out the first game in their channel. Super great guys. Won a game at MAW's tournament, which is not a slouch at all. They have tons of really awesome teams in there. So if you're looking for another high-level wiffle league, definitely check out these guys. Let them know you came from me. And, I'll see you guys in the next video.